pleasant welcome to the National News Bulletin file on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. First, our top stories. The first phase of the installation of the Magbele Bridge steel beams has on Tuesday, January 12th, commissioned by stakeholders and implementing partners from the National Authorization Office, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, CSE, and consulting engineers.
SLRA. So, based on European Union and Government of Sierra Leone,
as 2021 is seen as a year of high hopes and expectations, especially in the area of education, agriculture, and infrastructure, Star TV gauged the views of the public on the expectation when it comes to improving education, the economy, and agriculture.
Country. But as we grow up, go on the mature, we find out say, that Sierra police market will no longer exist.
Landowners and family heads of the oil palm plantation in Jong Chiefdom district called on the government and chiefdom stakeholders to look into the issue of land agreements between landowners and the Jongshan Jene Oil Palm Estate Company, which the landowners described as non-beneficial.
But the landowners not be pleased with that project day. To a certain extent, the minister being get for can hand over the land to the landowners.
Those were the headlines. Now time we go in for the news in detail. Stakeholders and implementing partners of the Moyamba Road and Bridge project from the National Authorizing Office, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, CSE, and consulting engineers have on Tuesday, January 12th, commissioned the first phase of the installation of the Magbele Bridge steel beams and also access process on the construction work. George Elliott Sam reports.
Tuesday, 12th January 2021, stakeholders and implementing partners of the Moyamba Road and Bridge project from the National Authorizing Office, Sierra Leone Roads Authority, CSE, and consulting engineers have commissioned the first phase of the installation of the Magbele Bridge steel beams and also to assess progress on the construction work. Ambrose James, Director, National Authorizing Office, Contracting Authority, said they are quite satisfied with the quality of work done so far, but stressed the need for the contractors, CSE, to double their efforts so that they can live up to the expected date of completion, which is June 2021. He further that the project is worth over 6 million euros.
Our office is actually called the Contracting Authority, and the supervisors are SLRA. So, based on European Union and Government of Sierra Leone cooperation, there is always a National Authorizing Office. And the National Authorizing Office is the office that facilitates the development cooperation with the European Union to ensure that there is value for money and ensure that the citizens of Sierra Leone benefit. So our role basically is to ensure that the funds that have been allocated to this project are utilized judiciously. Once it takes a process, we have a consultant, which is Polytechnica. They are the ones who receive it from the contractor. And then once Polytechnica verifies, they send it to SLRA. SLRA also verifies before it comes to us. We verify and then send to the European Union. So without us doing that role, the funds will not come to the project. So far, so good. The funds have been moving smoothly, and the project is quite liquid, and there is no cash flow problems. This is over 6 million euros. For Magbele Bridge, right? It's over 6 million euros project. Yeah. So this is part of the infrastructure process. One of the pillars that the European Union is supporting the government for. So, as you know, there are 4 pillars. There is education, there's governance, there's infrastructure, and there's agriculture. So this falls under infrastructure. And under infrastructure, there are 2 major constructions that are going on. One is the Pandajumal Badajuma to Liberia Road project, and the Moyamba and Moyamba Junction and Bridges project. This falls under the Moyamba and Moyamba Bridges project. So lot 2, which is the 2 major bridges, Mabele and Maba. So this is what we are witnessing here today.
Giving an update on the progress of the work, Hossein Amabi, team leader, stated that progress of the project status stand at 16.34 kilometer sub-guard, 15,000 kilometer of sub-base, and 13.100 kilometer of base layer is completed. He further stated that despite the impressive progress made on the construction work, it has also suffered some challenges, mainly due to the long period of rain experienced last year and the issue of payment of compensation for property within the right of way.
The project, as you may know, it has 2 lots. Lot number 1 is Moyamba Junction, 32.8 kilometers with 2 bridges, Bambama and Moyamba. And now, where we are now, we're on lot 2. Lot 2, it has 2 bridges. Magbili, that's the bridge where we are now. And today, the big event or the big milestone is they start launching the beams. Today, they will do the phase number 1 of launching the beams. Magbili Bridge is a bridge of 163 meter span. In addition to this bridge, we have another bridge. It's called Mabanga Bridge. Mabanga Bridge is 231 meter span. Now, if you allow me, I will give you just an update on the work progress of the lot 2. Since we're on lot 2, we're going to focus, on the progress of lot 2. As you can see here, for Magbili Bridge, we finished the excavation because they start excavating at the beginning, then blinding, then substructures. All of these things, excavation, blinding, and substructures have been finished. For abutment 01, pier 01, pier 02, pier 03, and abutment 03. The contractor, as you can see today, they have been working on the approach road, we can say Longi side. Now soon they will start on this side. So the work progress on this bridge now so far it's 78%.
Director General Sierra Leone Roads Authority, Vandy, stated that they are also impressed with the job and the installation of the phase 1 of the steel beams is a remarkable landmark for the project and promised the people of Sierra Leone that they will have value for money. He also outlined some of the commercial benefits that will be derived from the road itself when completed.
Well, for the purpose of this project, like Director James was saying just now, the framework by which the European Union actually develops projects and implements projects, you have the contracting authority who are necessary for the contractual issues between contractor and themselves. But we are the supervisors for the project, which means as far as the technical activity is concerned, regards to the contractor and the consultant, we are actually monitoring the day-to-day activities to ensure that quality controls are enhanced and monitored so that we get value for money at the end of the project.
The project, which is funded by the European Union, cost €40.7 million and provides for the rehabilitation of 33 kilometers of roads between Moyamba and Moyamba Junction and the bridges. For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
As 2021 is seen as a year of high hopes and expectations, especially in the area of education, agriculture and infrastructure, Star TV gauged the views of the public on the expectation when it comes to improving education, the economy and agriculture.
In the first place, we go up to meet SLPM when I signed for this marketing. Where we go up to the where at the end of the day, I believe say now be one of the main source where the government will get revenue for being development of the country. But as we grow up, we don't mature, we find out say, that Sierra Leone police marketing will no longer exist. Why? Because I go say there be mismanagement and also there be lack of responsibility, especially to the one when the stakeholders are very responsible for manhandle or for uphold that particular sector there in the government. But it can be say, government is talk about agriculture. All the past government are not talk about agriculture. But the whole thing when we see is that the government alone not put much seriousness into agriculture. Because I believe say if agriculture, the government put seriousness by it, then most of the people that would see at Tongsu, where they're the old Alpha people, they're not for them at all. Because we get donors there like DFID and other international donors then, where over news where you say they're not put up for agricultural project then, so that at the end of the day, development will come. Because when you look, the value of any currency in any nation, now the amount of exports get into the world market compared to that of the imports. But when you look Salon, all the two they eat. Imports. You not get nothing in way with the export, neither even one step with food where we say we supposed for, get for ourselves, for manufacture for ourselves, now imports. So at the end of the day, they find out say the currency of the country is the devalue. Then at the end of the day, now so poverty get the increase. Then for the government will say in want to create employment. What thing get for happen? Agriculture get for put up and like then other people over the past 2 months, then small market. Government can even employ them. If at the end of the day, then go the provinces back, then if we say at the end of the month, then get one bag, they get some money. If they find out, say, most of them they return back. But now every house is difficult because you don't choke up. House business stronger, food business stronger, transportation back is stronger because the city don't overpopulated. So therefore, if government say it wants serious about agriculture, they got to make sure say involve all the professionals.
First and foremost, I tell you thank you for seeking consent. And I believe say whatever perception at the Guinea based on what they evaluate since 2020 to 2021. Yes, the government, there is life, there is hope. I will tell anybody, but we get, like I say, we get constraints in plenty areas, like as you see. One, that the internal transportation. During this particular, from 2020, maybe at the end up to now, we see how people constrained in terms of transportation. Like for Molombi, Kaya, it is like hair. Like people are paying 7,000 for stuff, then no buses, no internal buses that are only as of now, or whatever. And I believe say even Rwanda, they go offline. That even lead failed day on the inflation of price in terms of on people is very too much. So like the need for strong in the area of transportation, one key side, and two, job opportunity need to be there.
Well, for me, not at all. The reason being, I buy uniform, I buy books, then I would say indirectly I pay fees, but then put as charges. We so like, reflect. The only thing where I can remember here, where they supply me books, exercise books, we even reach 80 pages. Think one day. One day I
they can buy dollars, they're not able to get the loans. That they affect me and they affect even the business people. But in my own opinion, what me feel say now some of the factors that we responsible the shortage of the loans in the bank, that the policy where they put in relation to foreign currency, where they say when you get foreign currency that you account with a foreign account, you never take more than $10,000 per month. Let's imagine, say when they say $10,000 per month, that they are small money that they for business somebody, when they say businessman. And let's say businessman gets something like $100,000-$200,000 in a bank. Where they get quick business for can do something like $50,000 or $60,000 for medical operate. Where he said we will get commission from there. The way you go to a bank now for maybe withdraw the foreign currency, they say no because of this policy where they don't put in place. That then they feel the pain, but it will be because you know they will go against the policy of the government. However, when it gets in loans now, before it go put another bank now, they will use that loan say and buy dollars, save and for himself. That don't see how the deposits in a bank they become stifled now, they reduce. Because business people they then believe say we put loans in a bank, at any time when in one time they just convert it into dollar, when you want the dollar, they just take them back. But now with this policy now, it seems at first it don't affect them. So for let yourself solve your own problem now, they make sure so we get loans, so they put on the bank again, and they convert them to dollar because you say loans in Boku, unlike dollar in small, so we convert them to dollar, they keep on within itself. That don't create the shortage of loans in the bank.
If you're just joining us, this is the National News Bulletin file on Star Television Network on Channel 21, and on to the next story. Landowners and family heads of the oil palm plantation in Jong Chiefdom, Bond District, have called on the government and chiefdom stakeholders to look into the issue of land agreement between landowners and the Jong Sonjen Oil Palm Estate Company, which the landowners described as non-beneficial. So let's join George Elliott Sam for more on this.
Landowners and family head of oil palm plantation in John Chiefdom, Bond District, Southern Sierra Leone, have called on the government and other chiefdom authorities to look into the issue of agreement between them, the landowners, and that of the John Sobene Oil Palm Estate Company, in which they have said that the agreement is of no benefit to them and are urging the government either to cancel or revisit the agreement once again. Kenneth Lahai Morano, one of the landowners, said that the agreement between them and the company is one which is not in their favor, and the company have deprived them of their rightful ownership to the land. He further stated that all that has been stated in the agreement between them and the company has not been fulfilled. He further called on the chiefdom authorities and also the government for them to intervene and know how to deal with the issue.
The company where they now presently, previously we be get a group, a project where been there at the place, but the landowners not been pleased with that project day. To a certain extent, the minister been get for can hand over the land to the landowners, where the paramount chief and the others, the speaker, now then been there in charge. If we now reach a time, still confusion been there. People they not being satisfied. We make then all suggest say we forget an investor. If we not get an investor, then we will land them back to the individual families. So when that happens, we all be not agree. When that happens at one time, we let's sit down now within this corona time, then call we the landowners and then call we to a meeting in Amatru that they don't get an investor who can take over this plantation. But how it starts, waiting at the things then we then go talk, we don't know nothing pass we then call we say, then for go sign the document. And when we go for go sign the document, then they will explain to we anything better, we will go down to we will be able to digest well. They only select people, the town chiefs them in the then call section chiefs, the paramount chief, the speaker, and 3 land owning representatives then now they been there. But even the 3 land owning representatives then we been there, they said not come back to the communities and for talk to the landowners. The chiefs them back not able can't talk anything, we don't know nothing, then just say they don't go sign the document. So after some time again we left Sidon, now then call we then say they don't come for pay the land lease. We'll go there. We're not the one take the land lease. But then again talk to we say, Prime Chief talks to we say, now because of the corona make, they're not able to sensitize it. But the man where they in charge, they get for Canada communities. But from that time again we can, we not see them. Even the document where they be saying, waiting there inside that document, waiting not there inside, we don't know. How many years and they take the plantation for, we don't know. Waiting go be the social and corporate responsibilities where they go do for we don't know. Nothing we don't know. After we don't take the land lease agreement again, for many even come to we again tell we say, when I be don't give workers, we been the work now the plantation for the chiefdom. Now that we don't get an investor who can take over the place and he don't give the land lease money, so we want give the okay to the investor for make it take over the plantation now full-fledged. Nothing not happen. The investor can do survey, he will survey the plantation back. How many acres, how many hectares he get, they not tell you nothing. Then put people there inside and they brush. The brushing they go on, we don't know. But thank God now employment with brothers and then they get the money, then they work inside it. Again, then they say the banga giwi. Out of that banga, they will be buy now. Now they will able to do half developments.
Sheka Jaya Kamara, town chief of Kali Sugbene, John Chiefdom, also expressed their disappointment in the entire process of itself. It was stated that the company has not met all what was stated in the agreement, and therefore they are very disappointed in the entire process, and they no longer trust the activities of the company in their chiefdom.
To start with, the land agreement, we don't really know much about it, because at one time we just did, we read over radio where the Honorable Ali Badab Sheriff called, say they need all the township that we attach to this John Sugbene oil palm estate. We go on that meeting, they go present to you on document, say that document is can sign with the government and the landowner don't agree. Because say they can't take over this manga farm here. And we don't really know what's inside the document. So some few people have begun for sign now, like this. Like from late landowner chairman, Pahama Kamara began for sign now, councillors, section chiefs. I don't know what be sign now, but the actual landowners, when about individual landowner, not be sign any document. They will not be really know what's inside the document. In fact, they will tell you say they will give it later or they will read out to we. Say that book package, but not be no, they will not be telling anyway.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
The General Overseer of Zion Praise Tabernacle, Pastor James Bangura, has expressed appreciation to God Almighty for turning his dream into reality, as the expectation of the church is in adherence to the gospel of Jesus Christ. He spoke to Star TV during the unveiling of the 4,000-seated church auditorium situated at Botomango Hill Station.
My name is Pastor James Bangura, founder and general overseer, Zion Praise Tabernacle Hill Station. The ministry is, like I said, Zion Praise Tabernacle is a ministry that has been in existence for about 8 years now, and by the grace of God, God has been helping us. We have been moving from one grace to another onto where we are today. We are here for the official opening and dedication of the 4,000 capacity church that God has put under our care, and we are grateful to God for bringing us thus far. We're just here to just be grateful to God. You know, everything we see around us has nothing to do with us. It's not by works of righteousness, but by grace alone. So we are just here to be grateful to God and to appreciate Him for bringing us to where we are in a very short while. First and foremost, I want to say compliments of the season to every VL and to all the pastors under this commission, all the ministers, all the leaders, deaconesses, and every member of the Zion Praise Tabernacle Church. I want to wish you a great and a blessed festive moment, and I pray that all of us will get over to 2021 by the grace of God. I want to say thank you for this short interview, and I want to pray that we'll have more time as we use this platform to propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Well, that's all we have time for in the National News Bulletin 5 on Star Television Network on Channel 51. I am Sienna Wright. Thanks for watching and just doing us.